knee on belly. Very, 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 very important class. Luckily, the escapes are simple. They're not difficult to do. One of them is just a little bit funny until you get it, and once you realize that you're essentially just completing front roll, it becomes all very easy. But to start off with, so she's in side control. We just continue from here. She pops up, knee goes on top, and she gets her grips to control. Now, remember, first thing I need to be aware of is that this is an easy mount. If she just cuts across, she's in mount, right? 4 points, really bad. Now she's in the most dominant spot. So I need to immediately block her knee. Okay, so whatever side she's heading towards, that arm blocks, but always, guys, try not to open up the elbow because the cross-side armbar, which we're going to be looking at next week, or it's not next week, on Friday, is right there. So make sure everything stays tight. You can bolster here, and so just stop her. Now, I want you guys to also think right off the bat here, if you just turn it, sorry. Right off the bat is hot potato or hot knee, okay? She controls here for 3 seconds, out, she gets the 2 points. So your initial reaction should be an immediate hip escape, push and hip escape, which is her first escape too. So she pops down again, okay? If she pops up, I should be immediately get rid of the knee and come back again. Okay, you're not even thinking to regard initially, just think right off the bat, I need to stop those points, okay? So that's your first reaction. Now, first escape though, we'll actually go into technique now, is just the hip escape. So, if she isn't putting much weight on me, first of all, it might be a trap, be aware of that. But hand onto the knee, I hip escape just like I normally would, but this does have to be a push. However, don't overemphasize the push, right? It's just a block to make sure that she can't keep following me as I hip escape. But a lot of people start barely hip escaping and just shoving the knee like you're gonna do something, but realistically, that's not gonna happen, right? You need to clear yourself out of the position. So if her weight isn't on me so much, and I push and hip escape, her knee isn't gonna drop to the floor. So I don't wanna loop up and over or try to throw my legs over her head to get through. You have a pathway right through the ankle here or underneath the shin, and then from that position, feet to the hips, get your grips, close up, or play open guard, depending on how she reacts. Remember, when she's on her feet like this, she can stand up very quickly, so it's tough to close guard on people sometimes. So one more time, she's here, weight's mainly on the toes, so when I hip escape, really focus on getting onto your side, because if I'm doing this and being flat, now you're gonna have to turn again, and then at that point she's gonna reset the knee. So make sure you're mainly focusing on getting onto your shoulder, knee slides through, feet up, and close, okay? Now, if she is putting weight down on you, the knee should drop, in which case it just turns into the same thing we do from side control. So if the knee drops to the mat, my knee slides in through the hip instead. And then I push, feet to the hips, adjust, open guard, close, and so on. Okay, so that's just our first option. One more time. She pops up right away, trying to remove the points. But she's stable, first block, protecting your neck, because if I'm just doing this too much, then she's just gonna choke me, right? You have to be aware of that. Hand on the knee, hip escape, she didn't drop the knee through here, she does drop the knee through the hip. Essentially the same pathway. Okay, we'll start with that real quick, and then we'll go into our running escape. This one can be a little bit riskier, but a lot of times you, if you especially have good movement on the bottom, this one works really nicely. You can even catch some subs off of this sometimes. Now, just without a partner on top. So the first one, right, block the knee, push and hip escape. And again, I'm not flaring my elbow. If I flare my elbow, that cross-side armbar becomes very easy. So instead of going here, I end up scooping the knee with the inside hand, and same thing. If my elbow comes up, I give her a nice easy step over and arm lock. So everything is always tight here with the elbows in this position. It's the easiest thing to do is start pushing on the chest, opening the elbow, and it's just arm bars everywhere. Right, so catch the knee, elbow tight, and I can even kind of help bolster, and I'm gonna run away from her. And this is called the running escape. So I step, and I'm kind of scooping, pushing the knee off. It will still be on your back sometimes, but here's where it turns into a front roll. As soon as I hit my shoulder, right, I'm not going to try to do it from here because I have no mobility, and I'm just going to flop, my legs are going to smash into them, and they're going to be in side control. So I step over until I get to my hip, and then I just throw my butt at them, basically, legs wide, and then I catch them. So it is blind, which is why you want to cast a wide net, right? When I throw my legs where I hope they are, then I may miss, right? Do the splits essentially, and throw the legs wide as you roll back over your shoulder. So one more time without it. So scoop, I take the inside leg first to give myself range and give myself some power so I can push with this leg to take my last step, and then I throw my hips back. So I'm cutting a 45 almost, or a 90-degree turn. So with Heather this time. Now partners, be careful as you don't take a heel to the face if that's what's happening. So blocking, the first one wasn't working, so then I try and change. I scoop, I take a step, I take another step, and then I throw my butt right out of the face. Then I catch, okay? And the nice thing is sometimes you'll catch an arm at the same time, then you may be able to lock up the triangle too, okay? Again, so partners on top when you're first getting the movement down, and I would suggest trying this without your partner first, just to get the stepping. Partner on top, just loosen up your grips, just so that you guys are getting the location right, and then you can give yourselves a little bit more resistance. So one more time. Lock the knee, turn and scoop. I step, so I really force my butt up, and then I throw myself back, legs wide. Okay? Now the big thing with all these escapes is be prepared to fight from open guard. She is so mobile when she's doing a proper knee on belly that is so quick to, even if the knee was committed and the knee drops, it's so easy to get back to your feet and fight from up, right, and avoid the closed guard. Just be ready to catch the sleeves and fight spider, delahiva, or whatever. Okay, guys, you want to see that one more time? Different angle here. The side leg. So again, block the knee. I start to turn my hip. And again, usually you want to kind of take a bit of a step here. So I push away. Like so. One more step, and then I cut back. Okay, this does become quite quick. We just do it one more real time here. So I just go here. And I throw. So that's where you want to watch on top, that the heel doesn't suddenly catch you in the face. Be prepared. Okay, let's give it a try, guys. You really need to commit to almost going to a full turtle. Okay, and that's something that you'll start to realize. Because if Heather's on top here and she wants to keep me pinned, right? Like, don't let me roll, okay? I can still get to my belly down. I know I'm bigger than her, or heavier than her, so it's a little bit easier for me in this case. But ultimately, like, and no one wants to like completely lock you in because they want to find those openings. But ultimately, it's really easy if you just commit to getting to your shoulder. The thing is that you just stop right at the point where you could go to your turtle. Right before you get to that point, you just throw your ass back at it. Okay, and then that way you're gonna find it. And the big thing is that, think about her response. You saw what happened there when I started to turn? So I said this to one of the groups already, is that when she starts seeing me and she realizes I'm going for the back, she wants to take my back. And that's where that commitment is. She fell over. But that's where she's leading now with her head, and where you're gonna catch her. Whereas right now, if your partner stays still, right, like just knee on belly and lets you roll, right? I have so much room, but you're also like not really catching her at all, and she could get out of the way, right? But when she's chasing you and she thinks you're gonna take the back, like again, Solo and Shanji, like Shanji especially, when you see him do this escape, he just like basically muscles to his shoulders, and then it's unstoppable. He just rolls back and opens okay? And just catches. So it's a really effective technique, but you have to commit. Because right when they think that there's that space to get the back, that's when you roll back. You do that front roll. Okay? So last one here, I'll just demonstrate without someone, because as I was saying to the ladies class last night when we did this, it's a little bit less painful for them if you mess up, but for us guys, you're gonna have to watch out. So, knee on belly, she's on this side, blocking the knee. I'm gonna grab her ankle. This is where you wanna do this when they are just trying to kill you. The other two, hip escape and push, or the running escape, is when they're a bit lighter on top, okay? This one is for when you have someone just smashing you in the position, trying to take the life out of you. Block the knee, grab the ankle. So we're gonna go hips up, and then drop. I'm going to shove the ankle between my legs and push the knee between my legs. Now, if I stay flat, I might drop their knee right on top of my stuff, okay? It's not gonna feel good. So what I do is hip up, and then as I drop, I'm gonna drop to the side that they're on. I punch this way. So the arms have to be full commitment, full lockout shove, but I'm gonna drop the one side more so. So that way, the knee bypasses, and if it does land, it's gonna land more on your thigh. And I get to a cleaner position for half guard. So I'm on my side, I can lock up, or I can start hip escaping back to the guard immediately. One last detail with this one is that, and so there's a little bit of moving parts here, hips up, drop, and then I also pull my knee to my chest at the same time so I don't end up having my leg down and her foot kind of getting caught. Okay, so with Heather here. So blocking the knee, grab, so I tried, but she's just killing me. Grab the ankle, hips up, drop, and shove the leg in. Just lock it in, or I start playing back to my guard. So this one, guys, you actually want your partner put some weight down because it's more realistic. Now I'm doing this slow motion, right? Just so you can see it. Knee, ankle grip. Hips up, drop, and shove. Okay? But when you do this for real, it's gonna be fast. Right, so you pop them up. So the weight goes up, it floats for a second, and you drop fast. And then that way you give yourself as much time where their shin isn't touching you, and it's easy just to shove it through. Okay, so again, go back with your groups, but try it without them first. Okay, just so that you nice and slow feel the motion, and then try with them. Okay, this one is a very important one. Makes a big difference when people are trying to kill you in the belly. Okay. Let's go. So that last one, remember, it's full commitment, right? If again, Heather is on top and she's not putting that much weight down. I'm not going to do this one if the weight's over her foot. It's unnecessary and it's a waste of energy, and it probably won't work because her foot's locked in the position, right? Now, I could kind of pull her weight onto me and then do it, but why would you put more weight on yourself and pull her towards mat, right? So if the toes are on the mat, then stick with the hip escape, stick with the running escape. Or if I start this one and I go hips up and she bails and puts her toes down, like she goes here, we'll switch to the hip escape and finish up the way we were. So you just have to be aware of the position. Now the last thing to be aware of is just her balance, right? If she has this leg way up here in front of me and I can kind of just push her backwards and she falls over, we'll be aware of that. But I never want to be extending my arms up. The last thing is if her weight's too far forward. Like, you know, sometimes you can kind of hook the leg and just roll her on top of you, like, and just kind of pull her through. But you have to be aware, because if she's savvy, if you do that, she might just slide right to mount. Now, the worst thing, I saw a video of someone doing an instructional once, and now remember, guys, there's always differences in being taught. There's no complete truths. There's no complete right and wrong. There's just sometimes blatantly incorrect. So I saw this online, and some guy saying, like, okay, you're gonna grab the person and you're gonna roll her. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, never separate your hands from here. It's the easiest armbar you have. That inside shoulder comes up. I mean, you just have to step over the head. You're ready in an armbar, right? So watch out for that kind of stuff. Just whenever you go online and you watch instructionals, just use logic. Just like anything you see on the internet or on TV, just apply logic. Don't take anything as a truth, but think about it, right? Just use your critical thinking. So if you see something and it looks good, well, just analyze it a little bit deeper and take it outside the surface value of it and just see what's going to happen, right? Like, well, it seems like there's an armbar there, or it seems like there's this. I bet, like, again, if this is on YouTube, I'm sure there's a bunch of instructors that are going to be like, man, mistake, 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 mistake. And so you always have to take what you can. Big thing is that anytime we're doing our escapes, our hands are on the legs, which means that neck and arms are available, right? But that's jiu-jitsu. You can't have complete defense and escapes and offense all at the same time, right? So we're riding motorcycles. They accelerate really well, they stop really well, they turn really well, they just don't do all of them at the same time, right? So you have to kind of think. I guess. Specific next.